Hello and welcome to today's The Last Trade Week Ahead video. Now in today's The Last Trade Week Ahead video, we'll be taking a look at two stocks. I'll take a look at Maruti Suzuki plus I'll take a look at Tata Motors. I'll take a look at each of them from the perspective of an equity trader plus an option buyer and option seller. So do watch ahead for that. Now, before we do all of that, let's take a look at the news to affect our markets this week. Now, the first news to be affecting our markets on Monday morning is going to be naturally the new tidbits which are released about the trade deal. But I believe the market has reacted to that strongly once. So now I don't expect that much of a reaction. It will be more of a, I would call it a muted reaction, a tempered reaction to the whole thing. So I think that may play out for the first 15 minutes of Monday. After that, it pretty much fizzles out. The next thing which I believe will affect our markets this week is India is launching a new CPI series on February 12th. Now, this is going to be important because previously the CPI was calculated on a base year of 2012. Now it's going to be calculated with a base year of 2024. Plus, this is important as the weight, basically the base year will act as a benchmarking for measuring inflation as it decides the weights of goods and services in the CPI basket. Plus, this time from the CPI basket having 299 items, it's been expanded to have 358 items. As it has to do a wider market coverage, adding online markets, capturing prices from e-commerce platforms, AFAs, OTTs, everything. So all that will be an important change, I believe. And I think the markets as a whole, especially how it's going to affect the bond yields and interest rate sensitive stocks, is going to be an important factor. So that's the second factor which I believe is important. And the third factor is going to be the constant overhang of the Iran-America issue. It's right now, even if you open social media platforms like X, you will see that last night there was a lot of pieces being ordered to the Pentagon, and whenever they do that, usually they're planning something nasty for another country. So all that's going to be a constant risk factor which is going to be on top of our markets, because naturally if Iran and America have a direct conflict, then it will affect our markets, because the Strait of Hormuz being closed will affect the Indian economy in quite a large way. So that's a constant overhang that will be there from Monday to Friday constantly because of the risk factor. So that's it on the news front. Now let's take a look at Maruti, then we'll take a look at Tata Motors. Now coming to Maruti Suzuki, Maruti has had, as with the rest of the market, Maruti has had a bad fall, and it basically just has literally gone one way down and come down hard. Now I believe Maruti has reached a critical point. Why I say that is, it's basically, I'm looking at it from a perspective of 14716, which is the dotted line which I've highlighted as number one important support. Number two important support is 14470. So as long as it is between this support zone and 15350, it's not going to go anywhere naturally. But if it breaks above 15350, then it's going to give a dead cat bounce to 15880 and 16420. On the other hand, as long as it stays within this zone, the max it can go to is this 14200. Why I've not highlighted below 14200 is, if it were to break 14200, it would change the weekly picture of Maruti, and as that would literally trigger a constant decline for weeks to come. So my trading plan for Maruti is pretty simple. As long as it is between this zone, I'm not touching it. If it breaks above 15350, then it can be considered long for 15880 and 16420 as a price target. If it breaks 14470, then you can go and sell calls above this pretty comfortably, as it will be going to this, and then it will be really struggling to recover from this to go back up here. So as a whole, my trading plan is pretty simple. I'll basically, for the first part of this week, I'm going to watch Maruti Suzuki, wait to see if it has the strength to break 15350 or not. If it does not show the strength to break 15350 by Wednesday, then I'm most likely going to initiate CE sells of 15350 and above, and also 14200 and below, so selling the range. On the other hand, if by Wednesday we start seeing some strength coming into Maruti Suzuki that's going to challenge 15350, then we can expect a breakout to come to 15880 to 16420. So I believe Monday to Wednesday is going to be a very important trading period for Maruti Suzuki, as it's going to really determine how the stock is going to trade for the whole of February rather than only this week. So that's it for Maruti. Let's take a look at Tata Motors now. Now Tata Motors has been having a constant decline. The stock basically tries to go up, then it gets shot back down, and we can see the same pattern play out here. For example, it gapped down, then at this point, due to all this gap ups which happened this week on Monday and everything, Tata Motors jumped up, but then it has gone again and got killed here. Now the primary reason of Tata Motors getting killed here, number one, is there's a gap down which had occurred here. So this is a good resistance range of simple price bars. Then there's a quant resistance zone at 390 and 398. So my trading plan is pretty simple. Tata Motors, I am looking at it that it's most likely going to go back into this range in the coming sessions. So my trading plan is pretty simple. As long as it's between 390 and 360, I'm not going to trade it. But if it breaks 360, then I'm going to most likely go and sell calls of 390 and above, or if I want to be more aggressive, 370 and above, and aim for a short for it to go back to 340 to 322. Why I'm not looking at Tata Motors from the perspective of a long trader is pretty simple, because of one factor, that it's got a lot of resistance to fight on the top. So yes, it can go up, but it will go up in a very staggered way, and there'll be a lot of price rejection. Like if you see even here, the gap up could not sustain. It basically has gone up. Then on Friday, it tried to test the high, and then it came back down. So that is the issue which is happening in Tata Motors, is that any upswing will need a lot of effort. And also, like I explained for Maruti Suzuki, if I see by around Wednesday, Thursday this week, we are not getting a positive move in Tata Motors or negative move, then I might already press the button and sell Cs of 390 and above. Or if I want to be cautious, I have basically three. Aggressive is 370 and above, middle is 390 and above, cautious would be 400 and above. Because I don't believe Tata Motors in the Feb series will be able to cross the zones with ease. There is still a slight probability it can, but I don't think so. Maximum it may stay between 360 and 400. I would say 60 to 70% probability is going to go below 364, 340 to 322. So both these stocks right now are more of a probability game because of what it is. And I know a lot of people will be positive on the auto sector, but I think something like Maruti is better to be positive for in the auto sector than something like Tata Motors, because Tata Motors has the issues with JLR, Jaguar Land Rover in UK and everything. Plus, I'm noticing the reaction to the new car which they launched, Tata Sierra, which was overhyped, and now when people are seeing it on the road, they're finding it the ugliest thing possible. So all this plays a huge reaction game on the stock. And even if we see in January they had very good auto sales data, but they could still not get out of the rut they're in. So if that could not bring it, I don't think it's going to come out anytime soon. So I think that's why I will end up most likely putting C cells in it from mid of this week if I don't see any positivity build up until Wednesday. I'm giving Wednesday a cutoff date for a lot of stocks on the negative side plus on the positive side. By Wednesday, I think a lot of stocks are going to end up breaking out, and a lot of stocks are going to end up completely breaking down. So that's my trading plan for Tata Motors and Maruti Suzuki. If you liked it, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.